Nah, for real. Like I used to speak to people for a long time. I'd be like, "Yo, that's real talk," or "That's real." There is no falseness in that statement, right? So I heard. This is what I heard, though. This is what I heard. Fuck this fool. Hey, yo, though. Who is it? Half Jewish, half black. Oh, is he really? All right, bet. Right? Now my bloodline and who I am, right? So I'm just like, all right, bet, right? I heard a lot of people are talking about anti-Semitic things. It's nah. I mean, today's Jews aren't. I don't really know where they're tracing it back. Like I've seen so many interferences and how it's uh, manipulated, molested, and it's not about being Jewish. Like first of all, so I mean, when I see somebody stand up and actually let somebody know, it's thousands of years of man. We always know. We always knew. We always knew. I mean, it's you didn't recognize your own God. Like it's strange to us. Like why would you like the entire system and all that? Like it's everybody knows how far it goes and like what it revolves around, and it's okay. It's just been like for so long. I think my people have been like, you're stealing something from us, which I get. And I get it. I get it, but I don't see value in it. I really don't. Because I'm like, they're going to die. So to me, it's like, it's, it's affecting you, but at the same time, it's affecting you in a way that it has to be, it's weird. Honestly, it's weird. It's so weird that I mean, you're going off complexion of the other person, and no, there were 12 tribes. When you push it back, bloodlines and all this, I mean, I could break it down and I could be like, all right, Nigeria, actually, yeah, Mali, uh, Benin, uh, what's it called? Togo, um, uh, like I could break it down to yeah, Barbados. Um, how the dispersion happens so much like it, you can't just classify yourself as Black Hebrew. You can't do that. Your Hebrew bloodline exists. I'm not going to say it doesn't. It really does. But it also spans across parts of Portugal, and that came from Spain. So then you have to see where that went. But you also have to, from there, because you have to take, you have to. Italian influence, Vespucci, and you guys are so smart, and you're sitting there like Christopher Columbus caused all these problems. The Queen at that time, and also the Queen in Britain, you have to see um, the dispersion, and then you have to cross over that, like the book of Revelation said, outwardly they claim they are Jews, but inwardly they're not. Like everybody, we all pretty much know that these people are not God's chosen people. We know that. So we just leave them alone, right? So it's, you got Germans that are Levites. You have, you do. I mean, I don't know how to tell you the truth. Um, you have Scotland. Scotland, you definitely have to. This is from Jesus himself. My own bloodline. Like, I'm using my own bloodline. Um, and I have both black and white. So I have Nigeria, I have Benin, Togo, I have Levant, which is unique, which is very, very unique. Um, there's no uh, real reason that I would feel less than I am God. So use me for a second. Uh, that I would feel I need to present myself in a certain way that isn't going to accomplish what God wants accomplished or is going to be accomplished. So, um, Greek, uh, the Middle East is the Middle East, but we're talking about the dispersion afterwards. So it started with the bloodline goes back to Adam, where it became Abrahamic and all that. A guy named Abraham. So everybody's fine with that. Or the smart ones, Avram, or the other ones. Who came to Abraham? Melchizedek. Where did he come from? So, I mean, it's. To me, I sit there and I'm just like, well, you wouldn't listen anyway. So it's just like, I'll co sign what Kendrick said. Because then I look at it from, he's Hebrew. But I also co-sign if Aesop Rock presented what he would want to do, or like how he, if he stepped up to a mic again and he started writing and he wanted to flow. So I mean, or Dirt, or battle rappers that I know about. So I mean, when you guys are judging the Grammys and all of this, yeah, until you've actually stepped up to a mic and actually written something down, and which might be the approach you want to take, or you might want to take it freestyle. However you want to take it. But until you've actually been in these streets in a street cipher, until you've actually like been in that position, do you know what it's like to have to write a song for a record label? Do you know what it's like to actually sit down and write? Do you know what it's actually like to like take that approach? I'm going to write how I feel, but if they get it, they get it. Or I'm going to write for them so that they get it. I mean, we're talking about country, we're talking about all these different genres. How I feel about it, I don't pay attention to it anymore. I really don't. Because I didn't think talent was there. I still don't. So it's, can I do better myself? Is the question, right? I have. I have music on Spotify. I have music on iTunes. I have music. But in my younger years, how I'd approach it now is like, this would be so simple if you guys thought that was, but that's your generation. So I'm like, that's your generation. Like, you're gonna hold on to that. I already know that. I'll spit how I feel, and it'll stick or it won't. But like from a perspective of battle rap, from Kendrick to Kanye to all of these soft dudes that are spitting all this shit, I'm like, why are you even? This is what you have. When I spit, I lived it. That's why it impacted. What you guys are doing now is like, that's your generation. Now, I'm not somebody that's sitting there like, yo, some 100-pound dude can't show up with a Glock and start pulling the trigger. I'm not that dude that doesn't think that. LA, we already learned that. Youngsters rolling up on OGs and shooting them. Like it was, and then you guys have all kinds of things that would, an OG would not let something like that happen, and OG would be faced with either I'm going to do time over this or let you just, and I'm going to retire, fall back, right? And sometimes that happens. I don't see it that way. Like I would not want to be involved in it, so I'd stay the fuck out of all of it. So that it never came to that choice. if I had to do that. But you guys are all playing together with a different form of hip hop, but you're taking people that used to be down with underground hip hop, lyricism, and you're having people like Black Thought. You're having people that actually are just so far above your level that what you're doing is it's just okay. Yeah, I see you put a triangle in a triangle shape. For me, and I never thought that that guy was garbage. I thought that he his cadence was horrible. First time I heard Forever, but Lil Wayne had already started like that cadence. 50 Cent already started. Far from Power of a Dollar. Power of a Dollar was really good for 50. Before that, it was that cadence started slowing down, and you guys just got just you forgot the power of the snare and the flow. Like if you took somebody like Big Pun or then it's funny to me that when I put people on to hip hop artists and I'm just like, all right, this dude was like this, right? And then somebody introduces like J. Cole. Then I'm like, well, there's Elzai. I know the underground cats that could eat the dudes that you guys are talking about that were really good. And then if we took it to London or something like that, how they actually do shit in the streets. And then El Salvador or something like that. People that like are so it's like I always said, and I'm technically from Los Angeles. Like I Echo Park, Downey, Long Beach, San Pedro. Uh, I can name streets and all that. Like I can talk about Rosecrans. I can talk about Lafayette. I can talk about shit, man. We can go across the bridge, El Tapiac. We can talk about different sets. We can do all that. But the point that I'm trying to like tell people that was a different generation. That was like when there was respect and honorable reason that people were doing what they were doing. There was a certain who ran the hood. I mean, I could tell you stories, dudes getting duct taped for not paying dues to the hood and all that, right? So now you're introducing Instagram, you're introducing all these things to something that is not verified by the hood, but it's verified based on the internet following that the person has. Still following, but it's not like uh, family. It's not like you're not known by those people. You don't sit down and have barbecues like in Kings Park and all that. So, I mean, you guys are looking up to people like OGs to the extent as much as they're your uncles. Where in the hood, we would have beat your ass and just been like, nah, you don't do that. So you come back with a strap, you're thinking about building your street cred or your Instagram following. Whereas I can't put myself in that position because I left all that. But I experienced it, and I would have shot you in the face. If I was going to do it, I'll do it. If I'm not going to do it, then I'm going to step away from it. I'm not going to do it 100%. I'm not going to really be about that life, then I'm not about that life. If I am, then I fully am. But I saw what it was going to equate to. So you wouldn't, unless you actually step back for a second and you see what it's going to lead to, because you're actually at that door. You've got the charges. You're looking at the sheet. It's this thick. And you're looking at the charges it's just your first plea on this particular, but it's tied back to how much you've already done. Every fucking gangster looks at that sheet and says, there's enough to put me away for more than 10 years. Now, somebody that tells you they can do 10 years on their head, they're lying. Once you actually see that, that's a whole different. So, I mean, you guys are like kids that it's a life that's not gonna lead to. Once you get older and 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 you meet a woman, you start to have children, you start to have a family. It's not your morals. It's fucking survival. Inside or outside. And once it gets that fucking simple, what you guys are talking about doesn't even. Who cares? Except for those that have no fucking idea what they're talking about.